to my left, Jalen, Lecque, Terrence Clarke, and Alonzo, Gaffney. I thought that each game here, first of all, it's a tremendous honor for us to be invited and participate in this event. I've heard about it the last 7 or 8 years from the kids that we've had from the Raleigh area. So I think it was important for Brewster Academy to come because Raleigh has been really good to our program and sent us some high-level guys. And they weren't joking when they said the atmosphere was second to none. The support that you have for non-local teams here. Again, we've played all over the country in my 19 years, and I've never seen anything like it. I think that the support that the basketball community has, I guess they call it hoop state for a reason.
Very good. Questions?
Terrence, you had a really good tournament all weekend, but tonight you feel like you were in a particularly different kind of rhythm. What was your mentality attacking into this game, and how did you feel coming out of it?
I think for this game, it was more of just wanting to win. And I think, out of the 3 games, I had some good games, but I mean, as teammates, or my teammates, they were pretty good too. So I think tonight I just had it clicking, and my teammates kept finding me, and it's all through them. I mean, without them, I wouldn't have had a great game. So.
Jalen, Coach Keats was here for all 3 of the games watching. What has his support meant to you over this tournament?
His support is wonderful. Just him being there and just guiding me by not even saying nothing, just be there. And it's a good feeling. And he's working on me as we speak right now, just to prepare me for the season. And even though Jason is my coach at the moment, and he's a really good coach to me, he's just also coaching me as well. So I appreciate him for that.
Coach, what is it like to have such a balanced effort? I know we've sort of touched on this every night that you've been in here, but every single night you have somebody different step up, and not just 1, 2, or 3 guys step up. It's got to be good from a coaching perspective to have that sort of balance, isn't it?
Yeah, in all honesty, it's probably one of the first things that I tell kids when they say they're interested in Brewster. I say, we're going to have 9, 10 guys throughout the course of our season lead us in scoring. And I think I just point to the guys that came prior to them. Donovan Mitchell, who's had a decent career in the NBA. When he was at Brewster, he averaged 13 points a game his senior year. Rookie year in the NBA, he averaged 20. So I think it's important for these guys to understand the reason why they give up, a lot of them being, the superstar in their local community, is to prepare for what it's going to be like when they get to college, and what they're going to get when they get to college is playing with other high-level players. They have to do other things to help the team be successful.
How do you promote that to the young men when you have them interested in coming up there?
It's really the kids themselves, the past players that do it.
Okay.
People may think that I'm a good recruiter. I'm maybe a worse recruiter than coach. It's really just the former players that are talking to the kids. Alonzo is from Cleveland, where we had Jakar Sampson, so Jakar talked to Alonzo. So a lot of the guys we get is because of relationships that past guys will do, and I'll get a call from people in the Raleigh area, kids that I've had over the years, say, hey, there's this next kid that wants to take his game to the next level and play high-level competition. And I think it was important for us tonight. I know everyone gets caught up in rankings and everything, and rankings are cool. Everyone's got a number next to their name, and teams have a number, but it was a great upset win for us tonight because I think we checked earlier today, Max Preps has us ranked the 897th team in the country. So I'd like the 896 others in front of us to line up, and we'll just knock them off one by one. And Trinity Christian is a phenomenal program. Coach does a great job. I think they were 189th, so I think it was important for the kids to, and again, I'm joking, rankings really don't mean anything other than to the fans, but it was a good test for us as we go into our second half of our season in the New England Prep League.
Coach, I was talking about this with Jalen in the post game. You guys didn't start the season off particularly in the way you wanted, and you guys have basically been on a tear ever since, and culminating in an event like this where you win a championship. How does this kind of help you provide an outlook for you heading towards, obviously, your national championship aspirations?
Yeah, it really just bridges a gap between the 2-week layoff. The kids actually go home from here for another 3 or 4 or 5 days, and then when they come back, we get into our NEPSAC league play. And again, I'm biased, but I think that our league is the best league in the country, mainly because the kids are older, stronger, physically more mature. Plus, we play NCAA rules, so we play 2 20-minute halves, 30-second shot clock. If there was one thing that I was, you know, surprised or I don't want to say upset about is the lack of shot clock here. I totally get it from a purist standpoint. It kind of levels the playing field, I'm sure, but that was and I think we used it to our advantage a lot of times. Big leads, we were very patient. The guys pulled the ball out and we ran offense and took some time off the clock, but that is the biggest difference from what we'll have to prepare when we go back into our second half of our season.
Very good. Anyone else?
Terrence, one more question. Sorry, we already kind of touched on this a little bit about winning the MVP award. If you think about the
47 years.
7 years that this tournament's going on, that your name being next to so many future NBA or current and past NBA players, what does that kind of mean to you to have the night you had tonight to kind of propel you into an MVP honor?
I mean, it's an honor just to play for this in this tournament. I mean, playing with Brewster is the greatest thing ever to me, and best decision I've made so far in high school. So, I mean, playing in this tournament with the guys I've been around and in school with, you know, it's an honor. I mean, getting MVP, I'm happy as ever. That's all I really can say.
Very good.
I got a question.
Go ahead, young man.
This 47 years, John Wall, not a lot of 47 years. What was it called before that?
It was originally the Raleigh Times Holiday Invitation. That was a newspaper that was here, I think, for 15 or 20 years. And it was the GlaxoSmithKline Holiday Invitation for a while. High school OT, and then for the past 3 years, it's been the John Wall Holiday Invitation. Good question.
I was just tripping.
Okay. You're like, he's 47.